Broadcasting live from homes all around the world, it's Adam Blotner's Live from Lockdown Variety Hour, featuring performances from Mike Hadge, Darius Harper, Joelle Lurie, Brian Morabito. And now he's got a show that'll make you feel good, and it sure as hell beats drinking a bottle of bleach. Give it up for your host, Adam Blotner. Hi, everybody. Hey, Internet. Hey, it's your old friend, Adam Blotner. Glad to be here. I'm in my house, so there's nowhere else I'm going to be. But thank you guys for tuning in to Live from Lockdown Variety Hour. We've got an amazing lineup tonight. Some very, very talented guests, some great friends. I'm really excited for you to experience their talent this evening. We're at a little bit of a later time tonight. I hope that didn't throw you. I think it might be nicer for our West Coast viewers and our UK viewers. Well, they're screwed. They're just asleep right now. So listen, we lost our UK audience, but they had it coming. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we got a great show today. We have our question of the week. We're going to be asking all of our guests, as we usually do. We have a new question of the week. It's, which quarantine house do you want to be a part of? Now, these quarantine houses, as you're looking these over, you'll notice they're all terrible people. Some of them aren't even people. Some of them are fictional characters. So our guests are going to have to look this over and decide, who are they going to be in a quarantine house? What is your preference? The best of the evils. We're going to be checking in on our comments too. So if you're in the comments here, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, over there in the chat, let us know. Say hi. Who are you? Where are you watching from? What's going on? Are you eating dinner? Are you sitting and watching? Standing? And I guess you're watching. We know that. Maybe you're standing. Maybe you're sitting. Maybe you're cooking. I don't know. Those are the options. But let us know here in the comments. I think there's a little bit of a delay between broadcast and when I see your comments. So I'm giving a little bit of space here. Let me know where you are. Say hello. Today is a very exciting day. Today is a momentous day. My father, Bernie, is retired. This was his last day of work today. He put in over 35 years at the company he was working for at Morgan Stanley, and just did incredible work and was respected, and still is respected and admired by everybody he worked with and everybody, all of his clients. And I'm really excited for my dad entering into this new chapter. So the pieces that I'm going to do on tonight's show are pieces that I know that my dad enjoys of my work. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something from the archives. This is a video from 2008, I think, when I was doing writing lab at the Groundlings in Los Angeles. And my classmate and I, Fortune Feemster, she's a big deal now. And but Fortune and I, we did this sketch together. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this is a archived video from our writing lab class. I know my dad enjoys this one. You can hear my parents howling in the audience in this one. I hope you enjoy it. This is Earth, Wind, and Firesteins.
Boys and girls. Get your hand out of your nose. Boys and girls. We are the Firesteins of Earth, Wind, and Firesteins. Rolling over, thrilled with your head counselor, Ben Nickaby. Hi, Ben.
Greetings, Ben.
He called us and asked us to be this week's musical guest at your lovely summer camp.
That's right. Penelope and I, or as I call her in her Native American name, Bluebird Eye. We drove all the way in our Prius here from Sandpoint, Idaho, to be with you children today to teach you a lesson about preserving one of our most precious possessions.
Mother Earth.
Little lady.
Yes, she is. Oh. Galloping Deer and I. Before we sing, we want you kids to take a minute to breathe in that fresh, non-toxic air we are temporarily so fortunate to be encircled by. Then put a wish in your head and send it up. Send it up. Send it. Galloping Deer.
Children are a blessing.
Yes, they are. Galloping Deer and I have prepared a Native American sing-song. We hope will be felt by you children when deciding between paper or plastic.
I know which one I'd pick.
Do they?
This is an ancient Apache melody. The following items are recyclable. Mixed paper, newspapers, plastic and appliances, electronics and motor oil. All items are non-recyclable.
Flower pots, Pyrex containers, and automotive batteries.
Antifreeze, pizza boxes, foil beverage cartons, plastic bags, and
Come on. Technical difficulty. Okay, I'm here. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. That's a little snippet of Earth, Wind, and Firestein's, a classic. I think it was 2008. Now I'm noticing my green screen is acting crazy today. Don't worry. I'm not in a green fire. It's just the magic of the internet. Anyway, you could check out, if you want to watch that whole thing, you could check it out on my YouTube channel. You got to go way back. Keep scrolling, and back in circa 2008. All right, let's check out on the comments. Who do we got here? Matthew Tobin is coastal elate. I don't get your jokes, Matt. I will get it later. I'm sure it's obvious. Brian, what does that mean?
He's late. He's not on time. He's coastal elate.
Okay.
He wished he were on time, but it's killing him that he's on the East Coast and he's late.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
Anytime you do.
Okay. That's Brian Morabito. He'll be on later. Okay. Michelle Chigarita-Sweller says, thank goodness the little one is asleep so we can enjoy your program. This is a raunchy program filled with comedy, music, and sequins. You don't want to expose your kids to that. Matthew Tillman says that I look like Penn or Teller. Brian, which one? Which one is it?
I would say you look like the host. She was from That 70s Show, the main heartthrob. She is now the host of Can You Fool Me, Penn and Teller. It's a YouTube show. You should check it out.
Great. Thank you, Brian. All right. Great. Let's have people chime in the comments here, folks. Let us know you're watching. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. All right. We are going to bring on our first guest without further ado. Very excited about having this gentleman on the show. He has been writing comedy for over a decade on America's various coasts, mainly the East and West ones. His trail of carnage includes writing for The Late Show with David Letterman, Howard Stern, Steve Harvey, True TV, Mashable, Funny or Die, and a website about dog memes. He has also served as an award-winning songwriter for various off-Broadway and off-Broadway productions for the past 11 years, and currently has 2 musicals in development. His band, the Mike Hadge Trio, which is just him, can be heard on Spotify, Amazon, and wherever else you don't pay for music. Currently, he's releasing new quarantine-related songs on his Instagram every 2 days, and I tune into these. These quarantine songs are amazing. They're hilarious. They have technical and musical proficiency to them. They are just gorgeous. You should check them out. And trivia point, I met Mike. Mike went to high school with my wife. And soon our worlds collided, and I'm so glad they did. Let's welcome on Mr. Mike Hadge.
Come on, Jennifer, you all. What's your show in the third race? God.
Did you say something about the Third Reich?
Third race. Quarantine has got me into some weird shit, man. I've got really into mug racing. It's a very bad habit. I've lost a lot of money on it, but it passes the time.
Is there a winner? Is there a favorite?
No, there's never a winner. There are favorites, but they don't ever pan out. It's a lot of lost potential. And it's really sad what ends up happening to the losers. They get tossed and taken out back.
Yeah, they say there are no winners in mug racing.
It's so true. I heard that, and then you don't know until you're in it. But how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Who would you be mug racing with among these awful people? Who would you want to be your mug racing partners?
See, this is a very, very nuanced kind of question, and there are so many ways to go here. But where I landed is I didn't want to be in a house with a lot of attention hogs and a lot of people who would be really needy, and like House 2 is a lot of that. Hitler's a real big attention whore. Rob Schneider, Jared Leto is a joker, and so on. So I went with one.
House 1.
One.
Okay.
Because Meredith Grey, you got a medical professional right off the bat. Bin Laden, not a fan of the guy, but he's really good at this. He was doing this his whole life.
That's a good point.
Always on his Zoom calls to Death to America stuff and all that. I just figure he knows what he's doing. He's not going to bug me. And that's what it's all about. I mean, you live with your wife, Jenny. I'm kind of on my own. So I'm in the mode of, I just don't want anyone to bug me, really.
You already feel like a Bin Laden.
Thanks. Thank you.
No, I'm saying that in your, not to me, but inside, you're a Bin Laden on the inside.
Right. And I've got that. I've got that real go-getter attitude.
Yes, that go-getter, stay in for a long time.
Right. Make big plans while you have this inside time.
Absolutely.
And then, pull them off at some later time. When what I'm saying is, let's stop comparing me to Bin Laden on the internet.
Sure. I think that's where the comparisons begin and end. Probably.
I'm fine up to a point, but it just gets, we should probably draw the line at some point.
Absolutely.
I want to remain
Absolutely. What do you have prepared for us, Mike?
This is a song that I wrote last year, but it's weirdly relevant to now in some ways, but not always. But it made me think of this, and I thought it would make a lot of sense to do tonight more than some of my other stuff. So here is that song. A little backlit here, but whatever, it's the internet. Okay. Seeing people on the street ain't got nothing. See no ladies, they eat out of a tube. Seen men go to war and get left behind. I heard the seeing go deaf and heard the hearing go blind. There's so much pain in this world, Lord, can really make a man think, but I'm still gonna complain about shit that doesn't matter. Still gonna complain, they can't take that away from me. The subway is taking too long. The Starbucks guy spelled my name wrong. Yeah, I'm still gonna complain, 'cause I've gained zero perspective on anything. There's a trash truck that wakes me up every Wednesday morning around 11 a.m. And I just lost an eBay war on a handkerchief used by John Hamm. No one retweeted my awesome tweet. They closed the Arby's on 23rd Street. Yeah, I'm still gonna complain about the most useless bullshit. I got first world problems I wanna keep airing out. My DVR cut off the end of Kids Baking Championship again. Yeah, I'm still gonna complain, 'cause I've gained zero perspective on anything. Lord, it don't make no sense. Bigotry, hatred, and violence. I've experienced none of that pain. But I've got so many outlets to air petty grievances. Was this poor boy supposed to just not complain? No, 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 no. The other day, Lord, got an update for my solitaire app. They changed the card designs I like. Now my cards look like crap. Oh, I'll still play every time I'm on the John, but I'll be sad that those kitty cards are gone. Yeah, I'm still gonna complain about the pettiest, worthless bullshit. I'll feel bad at first, but keep doing it anyway. A story decision on bothers. Subway footlongs are now $8 Yeah, I'm still gonna complain. Nuclear war, human rights violations, they can't stop my minor aggravations. Lord, I'm gonna complain, 'cause I've gained zero perspective, just the least amount of perspective, and I'll never gain perspective on anything. It's all about me.
Mike Hadge, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Hadge. He is still gonna complain.
Always.
He's
And
still
we will
gonna
too.
complain.
We will too, and this is all done.
That's right. Just to keep it normal.
I can't
got-
wait.
We got to complain about the normal stuff. Thank you, Mike. That was fantastic. Mike is going to stick around. All of our guests are going to wave goodbye at the end of the show if they haven't been eaten by their house pets by the end. All right. Goodbye, Mike. All right. Let's check in on the comments. I hope everybody's having a great time tonight. Let's see. Okay. Tobin says, you're a member of the Coastal Elite. I get that joke now. I get that. I get it. Got it. I don't need Brian's help on that one. Though he says Brian gets it. I'm sure he does. I'm not going to bring him in. It's too much. I don't want to serve Brian's ego and give him more screen time than he needs. Jenny suggests to Mike, do show choir guy.
No.
There you go, Jenny. There you go. Shut down. Sorry, Mike. Did you have something else you were going to say about it?
Just no again.
Just no again. All right.
Apology.
No again. All right.
Sorry, Jenny.
All right. Let's see. We are going to bring on our next guest. How about that? That sounds exciting. Our next guest, we got some more comedy. We got comedy here in the front, and then we're going to have some nice singing. I don't know what I'm looking for. You'll see. We got great singers, great performers, some Broadway stars. We got some beautiful folks. Here we go. So our next guest, here's the introduction for him. He enjoys the adrenaline of streetcar racing, and his fans treat him like a rock star. After a blazing encounter with the ruthless Johnny Tran, Brian decides to take Paul Walker, a newcomer to street racing, under his wing. Brian's sister Mia sees something she likes in Paul too. Trouble is, neither of them realize he's an undercover cop, and Brian and his rival Johnny Tran are both the prime suspects in a case involving dirty money and big rig hijacking. He also has a cat soup commercial playing in Russia and Mexico, is on 2 house teams at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York, and is the face of LG's proactive customer care campaign. He's a good friend of mine. We were in an improv group together. He's absolutely one of the funniest people that I've ever known. He is a talented guy, a great guy, and I think he might be drunk. Give it up for Brian Morabito.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Adam, it sounded like you were just reading the plot synopsis to Fast and the Furious 1.
Yeah, that's what you sent me, Brian.
Yeah, well, somebody, I don't know, maybe that was my mistake or your mistake. I guess we'll never know. But somebody subbed my name out for Vin Diesel. But I guess, I'm going to head up a task force and figure out who did that.
Well, and the person also called Paul Walker not by his character name.
I know, that makes me furious.
By the actor name. That was really where that
was really tasteless.
Where the problem was. That was tasteless.
Yeah, I'm going to lose sleep over that.
That's a nice, what do you call that? A robe.
Robe, kimono, momo, whatever you like. I thought we'd be matching, frankly. It is not silk. Thank you for asking. I think it's polyester. A relative gave it to me. I don't know. I just put on what people give me.
Very nice.
But I'm digging what you got going. What did you get that for originally? Have you ever worn that sort of in public, or is this just for shows? You break this bad boy out.
This is me, Brian.
This is my life. It's a Thursday. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I probably did buy it for one specific purpose, but I do have a habit when I see something, much to my wife's chagrin, when I see something, I'm like, I'm going to use that sometime. and that's why I have a collection of Western shirts.
Wow. What a true nightmare that sounds like. I can sort of relate. People get me stuff like, I'm wearing these as shoes every day.
Oh, God. So you've lost your mind.
Oh yeah, things are going pretty dark over here, I'd say.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Which quarantine house?
Okay, so I wanted to be a part of. This was all very unacceptable. This list, as soon as I got it, top to bottom. But I did just watch Cats last night for the first time. I'm watching movies like I'm on an airplane. It's 50 days here, and I feel like I'm just watching movies that I would never see before, and it couldn't matter any less. Did you know the movie Cats is just a suicide pact of cats?
No.
Unbelievable. They are all, the premise of the movie, I'll forgo my time. If we're just going to talk about cats, I'm fine with that. The premise of the movie is that all of these cats are competing to be the Jellicle cat. They win a Jellicle ball, and the prize is to be reborn, which at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, means you fly into the sun in a chandelier. It's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. I have no idea how German tourists kept alive on Broadway for as long as they did. They were like, we have to keep going to this. This makes no sense.
Right. You know what? You figured it out. People have always said, what is Cats about? That's what it is. It's a Heaven's Gate allegory.
It is the craziest suicide pact movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
So which house?
I'm going with Cats. I'm going with the writer of Cats. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm living in this house. I'm going to be mad at somebody. And I feel like, who else is in there? Carrie Bradshaw, never heard of you. Tony Robbins. Wow.
Yeah, you'll get inspired. You get inspired.
Tony Robbins into the fucking sun. I cannot believe this guy is allowed to exist in our world. I'm pretty sure he was Me Too. I think he's donezo. So I'm done with him. Also, I saw Carol Baskin on the list, just so we're all on the same page. Carol Baskin did not kill her husband. She definitely did. She colluded with her husband so he could escape to Costa Rica, and she got some of the money. They both wanted out of the marriage. They wanted it clean. That's why she was suspicious. I don't think she murdered anybody.
I couldn't agree with you more. I know my wife is shouting about this from where she's. I couldn't agree with you more. 100%. We might have just lost some viewers on the show.
That's fine.
Over this hot button issue, and this is what America cares about right now.
Yeah.
What do you have prepared for us, Brian?
I have.
Was that it?
This is it. I'm going home, which is here. So welcome to my nightmare. Tonight I shall be reading some selections to you from some short pieces that I have written, and I think that's all. I think that's all you need to know. So please sit back and enjoy some very important, serious literature that I've prepared. I might read 2 or 3 of them. Okay, we'll see how much we can stomach here. This is just moonshine. That's fine. Okay, very good. What shall we read first? How about this one? Okay, this one is called "That's My Favorite Part." Okay. Just as I finish my lunch, the judge sits down and says, "I trust everyone enjoyed their recess. Court is now back in session." And with a flick of her wrist, swings her gavel to a thunderous bang. "Ha!" I shriek, then quickly cover my mouth in embarrassment. Being back in session was my favorite part of court, but I know better than to let the excitement get the best of me. "Sorry," I whisper through my fingers. In truth, I know no one heard me because I'm a mouse who lives in the rafters of this courthouse, but following the same rules as everybody else makes me feel like I'm a part of it rather than, well, not. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like if I were the prosecutor, just like pacing back and forth in my big shoes, keeping it together but missing my kids like crazy, and badgering the witness because I know that piece of shit knows more than he's telling me. "May it please the court," I'd say. It's my favorite part when they say that, so I'd say that too. Then I'd present some evidence that is both shocking and also not that shocking because I submitted it to the defense earlier for their review. Oh my God, what if I was the stenographer? Blue blazer, a fresh perm, a bold lip. Shut up, it's perfect. I'm small, but I'd make up for it by typing really fast on all 4 of my feet and never breaking eye contact with whoever's talking. That'd be fun, I hear myself say in a sigh. But for now, I'm just a mouse in the rafters quietly watching a man lose custody of his kids, like everybody else. And that is my favorite part. Wow. Beautiful. Knock that out of the park, I'd say. Stunning reading. Where is my Nobel Prize? I'll tell you where it is. It's right here, right after this piece. This piece doesn't have a title, because if it did, it would give away the ending, because I am, as they say, a bad writer. Here we go. This is more of a romantic novel type, so get in the mood. As I lay in bed, a soft breeze tumbles in and gently shakes the corners of the pages I have yet to read. I look up from my book for the first time in what feels like hours, and I see him standing out on the balcony, overlooking the city, his figure silhouetted in the moonlight. He's leaning over the balcony, feet staggered with his forearms on the railing, hands lazily clasped together. The muscles in his smooth shoulders seemingly flow together like rounded stones in a glassy river all the way down his back. I close my book as quietly as I can so I don't disrupt this art, this painting of my love that I am all at once both terrified and elated to be in at this moment. I reach over to grab his shirt he left crumpled at the foot of my bed to bury myself in his smell, and I rip an earth-shattering fart. Like a Harley-Davidson roaring through an underpass. The room goes dark and I see visions of dead relatives and I hear my father, echoes of him crying. When I come to, it's morning. I'm in a different room. There's a woman watering flowers by my bedside. I have trouble making noise, so I reach out to grab her attention and notice my arm. Clear tubes are going into my veins, and there's a plastic bracelet on my wrist, but my arm is old. Before long, a doctor comes in and asks me some questions. He's very kind and very handsome. And after I've answered all his questions, he tells me, "You're at Cavalry Hospital in the Bronx, ma'am, and you've been here for some time. Maybe it's too much for me to process right now, or I'm in shock, but I just nod and say, okay." He rests his hand on my forearm, gives me a reassuring smile, and says, okay. He gets up and walks to the door. Just before he's gone, he stops at the threshold, turns to me and says, "Also, just be aware that you farted yourself into a coma." "Yeah, right," I said. "Yeah, right," he says. Wow, another flawless read. Gold medal taken from Michael Phelps, given to Brian Morabito. My brother's name is Michael, so there's some poetic justice in that.
Are you done? Are you done?
How we doing on time? I got one more, or I can be done.
No, that's good. That is just because you were riffing at the end, Michael Phelps, and I didn't know.
Yeah, I wish him death.
How much self-aggrandizement you were going to do. So I just thought, if we're going to put
absolutely, yeah,
on it. Okay. Brian, what a pleasure to have you on.
Wow, thank you so much for having me.
Such delightful stories. Brian, you genuinely one of the very funniest guys I know. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, and Brian will hang out and we'll say goodbye at the end, or he'll explain Matt Tobin's puns to me later, who describes that as a true work of fart. Very good. Very good. What else we got in the comments here? Okay, now these are out of context. So when Alyssa said that's my favorite part, don't know what part that was. So comedy's in timing. All right, we are going to move on to the second portion of our show here. We have some fantastic voices joining us. These are genuinely some of the most incredible voices, certainly that I've ever heard, and their work speaks for it, and the kind of things that they are asked and opportunities and wonderful things that they do certainly speak for that as well. The first person we're going to bring on here, I'll read her bio to you here. She is a jazz vocalist, a songwriter, an NPR featured artist, a former Lincoln Center resident artist, and normally holds weekly residency singing at the iconic Tavern on the Green in Central Park. It's closed right now, but she will return there, I'm sure. She performs there with her longtime band, who she also performs nationwide with at concerts and special events. She has 2 full-length albums and a holiday EP. I also met this fantastic woman through my wife. They were in an a cappella group together. What a joy that was. She's a wonderful person. Her spirit is as bright as her smile, and such a gorgeous voice. We're really excited to have on Joelle Lurie.
Oh, that was so nice. Thank you. Hold your applause, please.
Okay, all right.
That was
Okay, it's held. And Joelle, who do you have with you?
This is my little brother, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey, what's going on?
He's a talented singer-songwriter in his own right. Glad he's
Fantastic.
joining me tonight.
Fantastic. You got to be, if you're going to be in quarantine and you're a singer, it's good to be holed up with an accompanist.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yes, absolutely. So let's, which quarantine house, Joelle and Charlie?
Okay, so I've decided, even though I love Tony Robbins because he really inspires me so much, but I'm going to have to say house 2.
Okay. Hitler.
Yeah. I think that Rob Schneider and you and I could make Hitler's life a living hell.
Sure.
And I think that would be really enjoyable to make his life a living hell. Charlie would also be in on that. Our tribal members. Jared Leto was my very first crush.
Oh.
My So-Called Life, Down in the Boiler Room with Claire Danes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
what about as the Joker? Are you into that?
Oh my God. I think that's brilliant. I mean,
okay.
I think it's very scary.
Yeah.
Very, very Scary, but like hot scary.
Right, scary, like in a good way, you know.
Yeah, like really hot scary.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think about these terrible people canceling each other out. You know, that they're gonna just not want to be with each other.
Balance, right?
Yeah.
And then the Wolf of Wall Street guy, I think he would just be like entertaining. Like you'd have a cocktail with him, he'd tell you lots of stories.
Is that Jordan Belfort?
Jordan Belfort, yeah.
I don't know who half these people are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how PETA is the Hunger Games guy. I don't really care about him, but I think
okay.
Just Jared Leto alone is all I need.
All right, listen, she's spoken. All right, Joelle and Charlie, what do you have prepared for us?
We're gonna do a song that we love by Bob Marley.
Excellent.
It's called "Is This Love?" So thanks for having us. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you, yeah. Every day and every night we'll be together with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room. Jah provide the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Ooh, I wanna know now. Ooh, I got to know now. I'm willing and able. So I put my cards on the table. I wanna love you, yeah, and love and treat you right. Oh, yeah, every day and every night we'll be together with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter, oh, yeah, of my single bed. We'll share the same room, but Jah provides the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Oh, I wanna know now. Oh, I gotta know now. I'm willing and able. So I put my cards on the table. Oh, I wanna love you, yeah, and love and treat you right. Oh, every day and every night we'll be together. Oh, with a roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room. Oh, yeah. But Jah provides the bread. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling?
Joelle and Charlie, the Luries.
Lurie.
Too much talent for one family. Wow, that just really was so soothing, and I'm at a loss for words. That was just so nice and so beautiful, you guys. Thank you for sharing that.
The opportunity to do this together. That was really fun.
Fantastic, right? See, silver linings.
Absolutely. Oh,
yes. Well, that was just gorgeous. You know, for our viewers, like I said, we have the best of the best on this show, and what a gorgeous voice. And Joelle, you could take any song and just make it so beautiful. No offense to Bob Marley, love that song, but you took it to another level.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Big applause for Joelle, Lurie, and Charlie. Thank you, guys. They'll be around. We're gonna wave goodbye to them at the end. Let's check in with the comments. What are people saying? What are people saying? Valerie Rosen says, cool hat, Charlie. This is a good hat. If Charlie's anything like me, his hair might be getting out of control, so he's turning to other options. Or maybe he's just a hat guy. I don't know. Looks good either way. We got Warren is saying hi from San Diego. What's up, Warren? We got Susie Shelton throwing up some love for Joelle and Charlie there. Nancy Greenfield says, delicious music. Thanks, Joelle. You're amazing. She is amazing. We got a lot of hearts coming through here. Paul Beswick is soothed, Joelle, as am I, as are the rest of us. All right, we are going to bring on our last guest of the evening. Boy, oh boy, are you in for a treat here. This gentleman is a New Hampshire native. He attended the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, AMDA, in 2004. Following a stint at Tokyo Disney, he would go on to join the union in 2009 with the Arkansas Repertory Theater. Credits include The Book of Mormon in Chicago, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, he played Misunderstanding, After Midnight, where he was a host, and the Kinky Boots' first national tour, where he played Lola. Most recently, he originated and starred in Cirque du Soleil's Volta as a singer and MC. He is such a wonderful guy, and we were introduced to him through our friend Shoshana Feinstein. We were doing shows. So Shoshana, find us some amazing people who would want to do our pop filter, our comedic music shows at 54 Below. People with great voices and great spirits, and we really hit the jackpot meeting Darius, and what a talent he is, and what a friend he is. What a great, great guy and a good soul, and we're really excited to have him on. Give it up for Darius Harper. Darius.
Hi, Adam. Hello. Can you see me?
I can see you. I can see you. Is your internet working now?
It's okay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
no, now better. Now I can see your shoulders.
Well, I'm working with a 6S, so everybody pray for me, please.
A 6S in the middle of New Hampshire.
Yes, and so it's great service, if you can imagine.
I'm sure.
It's great. The show has been wonderful, Adam. I'm just thrilled to have you, to be here with you and for you to have me. It's been amazing. The first guy, he's talking about cup races. He was cute. The guy in the robe, also cute. And then the last girl, Joelle, is freaking amazing. And the guitarist was, well, he was cute too. So
Darius, I think
like I'm
maybe
in the right place.
Listen, with no offense to any of our guests, it's perhaps been a while that we've all been locked inside. I'm just kidding. They're all terribly attractive people. I only have attractive people on the show.
We love that. Oh,
God.
Sorry. Ignore me.
So let's do our quarantine house here. Which one?
Okay, this has made me nervous all night, and I've been trying to read them on my tiny screen. But so
I think your
listen.
face in the frame there adds to the humor of it.
Does it? So I'm gonna get a little closer just so I can read.
Uh-huh.
So okay, so I'm thinking I'll tell you the house at the end, but you can read along. Hitler's dead somewhere in a bunker, so that's extra room for my shoes.
Oh.
I met Rob Schneider once on a Good Day New York interview, and he was a great guy, so that's a plus. I don't know who Jordan Belfort is, but I bet he makes great waffles. Word on the street is that Jared Leto has a big peen. So even as the Joker, I guess that would remain synonymous. And I'm a PETA fan, so I'm going to say house number dos.
You guys, house number 2 is taking the lead tonight. And you know what? Let me say this. People are being very forgiving of Rob Schneider. You know, and
okay. Should I
don't know.
No, I think he's grand.
And very forgiving of Hitler. You know, very dismissive. You know what?
I did say he was dead, which is, I'm not wrong.
That's true. He is dead. He's very dead. That's absolutely the truth. Darius, what are you going to show us?
You and I met, obviously you mentioned before, on the music circuit in New York. And aside from my theater stuff, music is what I do a lot. I love to guest star. I love to write my own cabarets. And so recently I've been on this quarantine archive situation. And this video was taken a few years ago. I think this was maybe before Book of Mormon. So I was about 25 and I'm 38,000 now. So this was a couple years ago. Yes, yeah, I've looked great for my age. You know what they say? Black don't crack, Adam.
It's true. It's true.
So the video that you'll see is, I don't know if you guys have heard of a little show called Rent. I love to play with gender norms and non-conformation. Whoa, I've been drinking red wine. Gender non-conforming sort of outlets and letting your freak flag fly. Freak flag fly. Wow. So here is a little rendition of myself. And my friend Natalie Randall playing Joanne and Maureen.
All right, here we go. Very excited for this.
Woohoo!
Here we go.
Every single day, I walk down the street. I hear people say, yeah, baby, you're so sweet. Ever since puberty, everybody stares at me. Boys, girls, I can't help it, baby. So be kind and don't lose your mind. Remember that I'm your baby. Take me from my head. I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. Take me, or leave me. A tiger in a cage can never see the sun. This deep beneath her state, baby, look up for you. You're alive to now, baby. So be kind and don't waste my time. Crying, oh, honey, there, are you still mine, baby? You are meant to be. And if you don't give up, take me, baby, or leave me. No way, can I be what I'm not? But hey, don't you want your girl hot?
It won't work. I won't perform. I love market and discipline. I'll make this in my sleep, baby. Watch my sleep. I follow through. Can't let my love you.
me. And if you get up there, touch me, baby. Oh, lady, touch me, baby. Leave me. Yes, I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Oh my. What a time to be alive.
Darius.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Woo!
That was fun to
Woo!
revisit that. I know, I'm sweating.
Oh my god, Darius. That is just so epic. Wow.
It was fun. You know what? I'm determined to come out of quarantine a baritone. You know what? I'm reclaiming my chords, Adam.
Okay.
for sure.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Mhm.
For the rest of us, please just do us a favor. Don't change a thing. Go ahead and go
I
ahead
love you
and
so
stay
much.
and stay up there. We're so excited to have you on, Darius. Thank you for being here. I feel honored just to be in the same screen as you.
Oh God, please.
We're just thank you
I'm
for
a
being
hack.
here.
Thank
No,
you for having me. I
it's
love you.
simply not true. So stick around, Darius. We're going to wave goodbye to our guests in a moment after I do my thing. It is my show, so I'm going to do a couple things here. We're going to check in with the comments first. Desira Barnes says, "And you're super cute, brother." Darius. I agree. He was listing off all of the attractive men in this group, and definitely be included. We have Jenny Pinzari, my wife, says, "I will never get over your voice. Deceased." Jenny, I know you mean well, but please, no jokes like deceased during a quarantine, during a global pandemic. Paul Beswick says, "Yes, ma'am." Yes, ma'am. Heidi, my mother, says, "Darius Harper is the best. What a voice." I wholeheartedly agree. And Tobin says, "More like Derry, yes." All right, my friends. I'm going to close this out with a number here. Oh, jeez. What just happened is that I have my keyboard settings for my sound effects, but I have to change it over. And I was just playing the opening chord of the song, but I forgot to change over from sound effects to keyboard effects. So you got a monkey sound effect. When I meant to play D. Wait a second, you guys. I didn't put up Darius's Insta and Twitter handle situation right here. Follow him or else. Okay. I'm going to switch over to my piano. All right. Now that is the D I was looking for. That's what she said. Okay. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, my father, Bernie, he retired today from over 35 years in his career. And I so look up to my dad and have so much respect and love and admiration for the hard work he's done over these years and building a career from nothing. And so dedicating a few pieces for him tonight. I know they're watching, and this is one that I know that my dad enjoys. This is from my 80s arena rock band, Plymouth Voyager. There's a lot of songs about fidelity. That was a big thing in the 80s. You had Lady by Styx. You had Keep On Loving You by REO Speedwagon. So I wrote this one. And if you know it, I hope you sing along. Here again, I'm on the road, traveling show business, away from everything. You call me on the telephone, you say hello, I say, who is this? And then you're mad again. In a different city every night, trying foods I've never tried. making tons of different women cry, black, white, and Asian. When it's time to leave a town behind, even though it's hard to say goodbye, I always come back to you in between vacations, living the big top life. I always make time for my wife. Yes, you know my heart is true, because I come back home to you. Saginaw to Kalamazoo, I saw a lion at the Detroit Zoo. But when there's no shows left to do, I come back home to you. You were always there to give me shelter from the storm. You're the best picker-upper from the airport there is. And I can count on you to fill out all of our tax forms. You're always there to raise the kids. And while you're picking up the kids from school, I'm drinking bourbon by the hotel pool. But when I finally come to, I come back home to you. And when I have laundry to do, I come back home to you. And when there's no one left to screw, I come back home to you. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. My piano playing's okay. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. Now, normally this would continue on and on. I don't know how it plays on the internet. I think it's funny. I don't know. Let's keep singing. Na 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 na. Sing along at home. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. Let's bring in all of our guests who are here. Mike, Brian, Joelle, Darius. We'll all sing along in cacophony. 2, 3, 4. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I come back home to you. Wake me up when I come back home to you.
When September
big finish. I come back home to
you. Crushed it.
You had a question, right?
No, I said we crushed it.
Oh, we crushed it. We crushed it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to change back to my other effects so I can do applause. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, stop. Stop the applaud. Oh my God, what happened to Darius?
He bailed.
Darius, too bad. You're here. Let's check in the comments. See what people said here.
My phone exploded. Sorry, guys.
Your phone exploded? Alyssa says, Mazel Tov, Bernie.
Yeah, it wasn't doing well. It was like...
Mazel Tov to Bernie. So does Paul. Shares that too. Stoven wants more monkey sounds. All right, my friends. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. Let's get a big round of applause for all of our guests today. You guys are fantastic. If you tune in next week, we got some really exciting guests. We have Greg Gilman, recording artist Greg Gilman. We have recording artist Lucy Greenbaum. We have the Resignos, who Mike Hadge writes music for the Resignos.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they're coming on next week. They're very talented twins. And we have fantastic comic actors Daniel Morrow and Jeremy Rowley coming in. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for our audience for tuning in. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy at home. And let's wave goodbye to our guests. Thank you, everybody.
Bye,
Have a great
everybody.
night.